Let's Talk About It podcast is sponsored by Goosehead Insurance, servicing clients all across New Jersey. Welcome to Let's Talk About It. I'm Jimmy Mortgage. I have a special guest, but before I go into my special guest, I want to let you know that I'm a lender in all 50 states. I love what I do. Right now, today, home affordability is a concern, but there are options. And of course, my special guest, Mike, is going to tell you what those special options are. Mike, take it away, brother.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, so a little bit about me. I've been in real estate now for almost 9 years.
Right.
Prior to this, I was teaching health and phys ed in Newark. My mom was like, what are you going to do? When I was 18, I had no idea. I was like, I like kids, I like sports. I'll go be a gym teacher.
Okay.
Did that and was hungover on a beach at 23. My best friend was also a gym teacher, and his wife's now cousin came on the beach and was telling me about how he owns a 2-family and makes $1,500 a month. I went home and said, Ma, I want to buy a 2-family.
Ma, I want to get 2-family. I mean, this guy's making $1,500 a month. Is that how it went down?
That's exactly how it went down. I said I was selling candy in high school. I had a bunch of money in the bank, and I went home. It was in July. I closed on my first house that September 30th to be exact. 11 years ago, and that's how real estate started.
Simple, but monopoly now.
Monopoly now.
Yeah, right?
I was good at Monopoly when I was 5, and now I'm trying to be better at it at 35.
My man. Speaking about better at 35, clearly you represent the entire state of New Jersey, but specifically you've done really well in the township of Union.
Yeah.
Right? Union's been like your bedrock. It's been like
Union's been everything to me.
Right.
I lived there for 30 years. Everything that I have done early in my career and still now is there.
Right.
I do a lot of charity work there, a lot of donations. I'm still involved in the community.
Right.
I'd always have a special place in my heart, and I feel like if I didn't have the opportunity to go to a town like Union with all the makeup that Union offers for not only just all different walks of life, but all different financials of, you had not poor people, but you had lower middle class, upper middle, all different walks of life. It really gives you an idea of what real life looks like once you're actually in the real world, which we are in today.
Right. It's fair to say that it's just a little bit more appreciative community-wise because we're all trying to get by in this town.
Not only that, but you learn how to communicate with people in different ways, because the way that all different types of people communicate, it's different ways. And that's kind of real estate, right? And it's same thing in teaching. Like when I was a teacher, you had your visual, you had your auditory, you had your disinterested, and you had, the people that wanted to be there. And you have to figure out how to connect to all four, otherwise you're just gonna have problems. The same thing in homeownership. If you're representing a client and they're not interested, or they're really, really have a certain learning style and you can't pick up on that, you're not gonna connect and they're not gonna get the business.
I would agree with you 1,000,000% because that happens. A friend of mine who you know really well, Irvin Jam.
Yep.
We talked about that a couple of times. I was going in because I'm coming from a financial background, working in corporate America. I would speak a certain way because I'm stuck in that bubble, right? I didn't want to feel less than, so I always made sure I articulated well in certain situations. However, when I got into real estate, Irv was like, nah, B, you can't be talking like that, bro. You gotta, everybody is not at that same level. That's not good or bad.
Yeah, you gotta read the audience.
You gotta read the audience.
100%.
Right. And sometimes you can come across as if you would be belittling the individual speaking to them. So you don't want to be less.
No, and the biggest thing was when I was new, every time I screwed something up or I made a mistake, I would always be like, all right, I could have did this, or I could have did that, or I did this wrong, I did that wrong, something went wrong, and I always would try to self-reflect and not make the same mistake twice.
Correct.
And that's the biggest thing, is having that awareness of, hey, I'm new, I'm certainly not perfect, and even as well as you may do, you're still not perfect and you're gonna make mistakes, because you could say something so little that's so not offensive to 99.9% of people that one person. Like I remember I got a phone call of a woman. She called me and she was like, I saw your reviews and you're like the third agent I called and I would really like help to, sell my home. And I was like, oh, well, you called the right person. I'm happy to help. And she's like, oh my God, that's so rude. I'm like, I'm sorry, what did I say that was so rude? And she hung up on me.
Wow.
So I called her back. She wouldn't answer. Yeah, I wanted to know. And then I called from another number. And I kept calling her, and she never answered me to this day. You was relentless. So if you're listening out there and you're that woman, I want to know what I said that was so offensive. But I literally don't, that's all I said. So I was like, was I too arrogant? Was I cocky? What did I do? But I did something, right? And never spoken to her again.
But now you're conscious of it.
So now I never say, "Oh, you called the right person." I just say, "How can I help you?"
Right.
You know,
so it was a learning experience at that point, right?
That's it. Yeah. You know, something so silly in my eyes, but clearly it pissed her off.
Right. And to your point, right? You just got to be careful when you're talking to
every little thing. Like there's such little things you could do, and you have to be self-aware. And it's hard to say. Like I could have easily said, "Oh, screw that woman. She's a miserable person." But no, I said something that I just don't say anymore.
Let's Talk About It podcast is sponsored by Molson Law LLC, servicing clients all across New Jersey. So what? Italian, growing up in Union County, you see a lot of melting pots over there. So I mean, how was that like, man? Like,
I mean, growing up, I had like the best. I wouldn't have changed a thing. We were the most diverse group of friends, and I was exposed to so many people that allowed me to have this massive sphere that I have today, just because I never screwed people over. I always would try to see the best in people, and I always made my own judgments. I never let other people skew my mindset. And when I was growing up, it was just normal to me. And I went to school with 600-700 kids per grade. And then I started selling candy, and I met so many people from selling candy. And then when I got into real estate, I said, let me just text all these people that haven't heard from me in 10 years and let them know that I'm in real estate now. And
so you went back to your database, the phone book that you had,
Yeah, I just texted them. I said, I remember basically what I said was, hey guys, it's Mike Martinetti. I have the same phone number. 10 years ago, you were buying candy through me, and now you can buy houses. I'm upgraded. You know,
from M&Ms to houses.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, I was selling candy from 14 to 17. I got my real estate license at 26. So I texted them, and then I just made awful social media posts because I hate it. I suck at it. I still suck at it. That's why I don't do it. The girls are great. And I just would try to like post my successes, and people just reached out to me. Because I was a good salesman in school. So now I'm selling houses.
Well, selling houses, you're doing a very good job. Recently, you celebrated your 200th closing, and this was in Union County, right?
Yes. So
Township.
So it was 2000th closing of our 9-year career of existence. And we have been selling around 200 per year in Union County for like the last 3 years.
200.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 200.
Those are big numbers, player. Those are big numbers, man.
It's the one thing I did right when I got into this business, and trust me, I've done mostly everything wrong, and I had to learn from it.
That's how you're gonna learn.
The one thing I did right was I knew where I had the best opportunity for people to know who I was, maybe have heard my name, and I just attacked it. And I attacked it every which way I could. And it started as just mailing, like a simple neighborhood, because that's what I could afford. And then as I made more money, I just kept dumping it in the business and dumping it and dumping it. This worked, this didn't work. And then once I figured out the recipe, I just did it in the surrounding towns, and I'm still doing it to this day.
Clearly.
Because I'm just trying to dominate a small part of the state. And that's it. Like, I don't want to, we're all over the state, right? People think that I just sell Union County. That's the only downside, is that people, because we are so relevant in the county, that they don't think we leave, which is a misconception. I'm like, guys, we sell Monmouth, Ocean, Mercer, Warren, Hunterdon, Sussex.
Just call Mike, man. I'm here.
Yeah,
I got you.
Just draw an imaginary line from Warren County, Mercer County, and Ocean, and up, and we'll cover it. But, people don't know that. So we try to do as best as we can to educate it. But the reality is when you are so in a world of, I don't want to say domination, but we do really well in that area.
Your numbers back it up.
Yeah, they don't think that you do anything else. So, but we do. So if you're listening, we sell all over the place.
That's key. That's key.
But yeah, I mean, that's what worked for us, and it's pretty much still the same thing. I'm just plugging away at specific towns one by one, and just try to get market saturation, and that's it. And slowly see how far it goes. And the reality is there's no reason for me to change it. Not yet, at least. Well, it's worked for 9 years. I'm gonna continue doing it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like when you're consistent with what you do.
Yeah,
it's part of the pattern. Yeah,
and then now we're building other businesses around it to just help fuel the fire. Like we're all the houses that we're flipping, our team flip. The investors I'm working with, they're buying in Union County. That gets more signs in the lawn. That gets more open house opportunities for my agents. That gives us, more development ideas. Now I just about to open up a construction company. You're going to see signs all over Union County. It's clear as day. Martinetti and Sons is the company. So everything that I'm doing is built around what we do, in my opinion, well. So I'm just trying to get as many avenues of income for not only me, but the team, because now they can also benefit off of that. Now we can also give clients like really, really good pricing on construction, because yes, we're doing it for a living, but it's not my number one source of income. My number one thing is to be as valuable to a client as possible, because then they're going to have a good experience. And guess what? They might think of me or one of my agents or one of the staff members that help them if they hear somebody else wanting to do real estate. And that's how you build a book of business, right? Yeah. That's how you build your book.
That leads into my question I was going to talk to you about, right? Because clearly when he's talking about the business of real estate, obviously some stick to one side, but what Mike is doing is it's amazing, right? Because you're going into renovation, construction, and that's a big thing, because given the fact that we have limited inventory, but we do have lots available, and because Mike is an ambassador of Union County, of New Jersey when it comes to real estate, but specifically Union County because of where you've been and where you grew up, sometimes you're able to see what lots are available to put something in there to provide home ownership, which is the biggest thing that we try to provide for our families and friends and everybody around us.
The other thing too is when we're in these homes, like I can show a client like, hey, we could take this wall out, we could take this wall out, we could run a steel beam. I'm able to have conversations that maybe some other agents aren't able to have. And now I'm able to teach my agents this. So when they're showing the home and we understand what's important to our client, some clients want open floor plans. Some clients want like the dining room separate, somewhat of an open floor plan, and others want that traditional, like I want walls everywhere. So understanding the client's wants and needs and being able to understand construction, you can then create a vision of, hey, this house may not be exactly what you want, but this is what your budget calls for. So this is what we could do to make it what you want while being in budget. Because not everyone could buy a new construction home. No. That's the unfortunate reality. And the reality in New Jersey is where we conduct our business. There's not many lots. There's not many new construction homes. So it's very limited. So being able to understand how you can, quote unquote, make new construction out of an existing home, and then say, and by the way, if you need help, like we have the resources, we could do everything for you and make this a one-stop shop. You know?
So that's a good thing too, right? To what, baby boomers who are trying to downgrade and they lived in a cape. To what you were saying, right? You could say, okay, this is how much we have of a lot size. Let's see for the new family with 3 or 4 kids, let's see what we can do to expand to give them room and help grow the neighborhood, help the elderly, because you're working on the other side, because you're not just like, I'm just gonna help the buyer, you're gonna help the seller and the buyer make sure
that all works out
with your team, right?
For sure.
Speaking, it was funny, right? The other day I was dropping my daughter off to school. She goes to the vocational school in Scotch Plains. And I'm driving down Raritan.
Yeah, and my mug's right there.
I'm telling my daughter, I'm like, I'm going to have Mike on my podcast. She said, oh my God, I see his signs all over the place. I'm like, wait, what? Like, you're in Scotch Plains? Like, what's going on? She's like, Dad, he's popular. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we're trying, right? So I moved to Clark. My office is in Scotch Plains. So what I did in the Union, Elizabeth, Roselle Park area, Kenilworth, we're now trying to do there, right? So I was number 5 in Clark. I was number 2 last year. Hopefully I'll be number 1. And now I'm trying to become relevant in Scotch Plains. And again, the way that you do it is you mail, you buy and enhance neighborhoods, and you get involved and you donate and you start doing these things, and you'll start to see what happens. It's really not rocket science.
My man is giving out free recipes.
I'm telling you guys exactly what to do. I promise you it works. But
he's giving out free recipes on how to do well in today's real estate market.
The misconception that everyone has is like, I need to have money and I need to have this and I need to have that. I'm like, I didn't have any of that. I just tapped into it, and then as I earned, I dumped it back in. So yeah, guess what? My first year, I didn't make as much money as it looks on the books because I dumped it in my business, but I'm growing a business. And you think Google was profitable year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No shot. I don't need to even ask the owner of Google that. I already know. So if you do the hard work in the beginning and you invest in your business, you will get to where you want to be. And it happens very quickly. People don't realize, like, I've been doing this almost 9 years. That's it.
Your numbers don't reflect 9 years. They reflect decades of
the reality was I got lucky. I made some really good hires on my back end staff, because without the girls and our ISA team, dude, I'd be a lost cause, because my natural ability wouldn't be able to get me to where I am today. So, I did get lucky with some of the hires that I made and some of the things that I did. There is part luck in real estate, and anyone that says
it's like cards, right? Like sometimes you have pocket aces, they get cracked, and sometimes you get lucky with it, right?
100. That's a great analogy. I love that. I'm stealing that analogy. But you're right, right? Yeah, like I remember when I played poker before when I had more time and I would get pocket aces, I'm like, all right, don't move your lips. Just look up. And then you get cracked.
You get cracked. Yeah,
right? And there's nothing worse when it's like by like a 7-8 suited. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. But it happened. But yeah. To your point, right? It's all about luck sometimes, but it's about also being at the right place at the right time, right?
Yeah.
Clearly, you've been doing it well. The average retention in real estate world is about, I think, 60 to 65%. The people on your team, they don't leave, bro.
Not yet. So don't get any ideas, all right? If you guys are listening to me, don't get no ideas from this. You're not going anywhere. But no, I mean, I try to treat people the way that I want to be treated.
I think you have buying equity in your team.
Yeah, I give them opportunity. So look, my job, if you're going to work with me, my job is to pour everything I have into you. That's not only, setting you up with leads and setting you up with structure, but it's making your mind understand that, hey, making income from one way is not the American way to do it when we have this opportunity to be in this country, to have all these different ways of income. But I don't want their minds to be like, okay, I want to open up a restaurant. I want to be a Dunkin' Donuts. No, we sell real estate.
Right.
So, hey, now we have a construction side. You can make money there. Hey, you could be a landlord. Hey, I'll teach you how to flip a house. Since you don't have enough money, you could get equity of mine. You chose me, I chose you. So if I'm choosing you, I'm giving you opportunity to get to where eventually you can flip your own homes, right? And look, I don't run the mentality of I'm going to teach these guys everything they need to know and they're going to leave me. If that's going to happen, it's going to happen. I can't prevent that.
Right.
All I can do is try to help them create wealth in different avenues, learn as much as they want to learn from me,
right.
Give them everything that I know, because at the end of the day, while we're on a team, we're together. And I don't worry about what can go wrong. I just worry about what I can do to control the situation and what I can do to make them the best version of themselves. And if they decide one day that they want to go on their own, then so be it. Right. I was on a team for a year and I ended up leaving.
Right.
I'm still forever grateful, for that opportunity. But I did what was best for me at the time. I thanked him as much as I possibly could.
Right.
And if that happens to me, it happens to me.
Right.
But I try my best to make it an environment where they're continuously making more money.
Right.
They're continuously growing.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you. If I know what I know now, I would have done this way differently. But I'm so invested in it and I've wasted so much time and energy and money that there's no going back now.
Right.
But running a team is not what people think it is.
Right.
It is very, very expensive. It crushes your numbers. But I'm almost at the point now where I'm starting to reap the reward.
Okay.
Like financially, I might be profitable off the team. I have not been profitable off my team in 6 years.
He is being honest. Look at my man Michael is being honest.
I only was profitable because of how much I was selling.
Right.
But now I'm getting to the point where my agents are doing a couple hundred transactions. So after all my overhead costs and all these things, I'm actually making money. So yes, it was a long-term play, but again, I'm 35. So for the next 30 years, 40 years, let's see if my kids want to get into this. If I'm profitable all those years, yeah, all right. So I didn't make money for 6 years, but now we're set up, right? And that's the hardest part, is getting there,
right?
And people don't realize that it can happen fast, but it takes time. And the numbers and the money that you think people are making is not always actually what's going on.
Social media does that. It highlights a whole bunch of things. Yeah. I'm always diving into numbers, just like you and my partner, Jason Solosky. You guys have that same mindset, like the whole puzzling, like you invest time, you invest value, and you reap your benefits as long as you know the person you're with.
Yep.
It's going to give you back in return.
100%.
The things I'm doing right now, it's because of Jason Solosky, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole studio helping me out. He's like, yo, Jim, I got you, man. He's like, bro, you produce, I'll invest in you, and you'll get.
Well, that's just it.
Right.
It's the same thing. You have to be like that, because at the end of the day, if someone's choosing you and you're not choosing them the same way they chose to work for you,
right,
it's not going to work. You're not going to retain them.
Right.
So when someone says like, I want to work with you, and we say we want to work with you, now it's our team.
It's bonded. Right?
So
it makes sense. Right.
They're there to learn. They're there for opportunity. They see something in me. I see something in them, and that's the reality of it.
Right.
Every hire that we make, does it pan out? No, but we try our best. We try to do the best we can. Our philosophy is we're going to coach them up, or we're going to coach them out. And what I mean by that is we coach them up. We try to bring the best skill sets that they possess and have them focus on that. And if you coach them out, it's just they don't have the ability to be coached up.
Right.
And then it's just not a good fit. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be successful.
Right.
They just have to go somewhere else.
You mentioned coaching. Recently, you went to you maps coaching.
Yes,
Jordan Free,
best thing in my life.
Best decision under
California. Yeah, 100%. Right. So I was completely against coaching. I'm like, I don't need a coach. This is so
I don't see you in coaching.
Yeah,
right? And you put it out there.
No, for sure. I mean, we sold 377 houses in our best year with no coach.
Wow.
But then we went from 377 to 326, and then we went from 326 to 261, and I'm like, something's off. Something's off.
Right.
So I was like, let me go to one of these things and see what it's all about.
One of these things.
So I show up and the people on the stage are talking. I'm like, my numbers are better than you. My numbers are better than you. My numbers are better. That's how I think, right? But I'm not jealous. I'm not envious.
You're not the only one.
I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this is crazy.
Right.
But they all kept saying, shout out to my coach. Shout out to my coach. And then the third person said, I'm like, damn. I got up. I walked over to the booth and I'm like, my name's Mike Martinetti. I need to hire a coach. I promise I'll work harder than any real estate agent. Like my numbers are good. I'm only 6 years in the business. I want like one of the best coaches you can get me. I will work. Something along the lines of that. I was all ready to go. I was all fired up. And then like the first person that talked to me, I was like, you're my coach. And I was like, wait, you're being impulsive. You can't. So I was like, I'm going to interview 2 other people. So then I went back in and they put 3 coaches on the stage. So I'm like, all right, these coaches are probably the best ones. That's why they're up here.
Right.
So I was like stalking this guy. I'll never forget. It's really to make fun of me. He's standing there and I'm sitting here it felt like 20 minutes. I was probably there for 5 minutes while he had a conversation. And I know he sees me. And he's just not acknowledging me.
He's like, yo, we're not doing
this. I'm like, how much longer am I going to do this? This is embarrassing as hell. Thankfully, nobody knows who I am. And then he finally gave me the time of day. And then I just rattled off at whatever I did. And he ended up cutting. He has a waiting list. And I started coaching with him. And then it turned my whole business around. Okay. It really, really changed the life of the agents on my team and the staff on my team because it allowed me to understand everything that I was doing wrong, undo all of that, and now build it back, which we're at now, right? So in 2 years, I literally went backwards completely, stripped everything, got rid of everyone or everything we were doing wrong.
You mean retrain?
Sure. Redid everything to where now we're at probably the healthiest place we've ever been. And we did it in 2 years. I went in September of 2023 and it's October 2025.
Wow.
And there's still plenty of work that needs to get done, but we're growing, right? And again, I have to look in the mirror, have a piece of humble pie and be like, yeah, we're doing so well, but that was off of raw talent and we really weren't, it's not scalable. Right. So I had to strip it all back
to make it scalable. To what it is today, right?
You know, so we went from 261 to 326 last year. This year, we're probably going to do, I don't know, 350, 375 units. So it's not as good as we want it. We had 43 dead deals. So if you guys are struggling in the market, on the next podcast episode, I'll tell you all about that. But we had 43 dead deals from January to now, which is horrible. So there's a lot of things that went wrong, but we're in a shifting market. So that didn't help. But yeah, you know, like I said, that's where we're at and we're still propelling. You mentioned
dead deals. Some people are not getting a deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's some humbling right there, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like everything is not always what people think and they look, some people look at you and they think everything's like great. And I mean, things go wrong. And a lot of the deals, there's nothing we could have done. Sellers wanted unrealistic expectations. Buyers had unrealistic expectations. Stuff happened. Right. Things went wrong. My agents could have done something different. I could have done something different. So it's a culmination of all of that. But it's been a rough year. And I have news for you guys. I think it's going to get more rough before it gets better. You know, we've been very fortunate where we've been. Most of my career, you know, has been a seller's market, and we're getting to a buyer's market, in my opinion. So you got to really make sure that you're partnering up with people that do their jobs well. So you have not only your team that you work on the real estate side with, but your lenders, your inspectors, your title companies, your attorneys. Right. It's so important that you're partnering up with people that have the same objectives and goals that you do, so you can buckle down together to get through, because it's going to get tough.
Let's Talk About a podcast is sponsored by Real Estate Title, servicing clients all across the state of New Jersey. Going back to what we were saying earlier in the green room, it's all about relationships right now, because you got to be with the ones who you trust, giving back, watch my back, I watch your back, and really digging in to see what we can do to solve what is in front of us, right? Because the last thing you want is saying that we're not working together, or you're talking bad about this individual. You're like, yo, how are we going to navigate growth if we're not on the same page when it comes to certain things, right? And so to credit to what you're saying, right? It's now more than ever. You have to genuinely work within your relationships and make sure in the end we're providing the services, the value for our clients.
100%. And the problem with salespeople, is that it's very easy for our egos to get in the way.
Oh yeah, it gets you know, I mean, real well.
We all have it, right? Yeah. So and I try to, every time I feel like I'm going down the wrong path, I stop, right? Just stop. It's not worth something. Like I'll bite my tongue when people say things and things like that, and I try my hardest to remember that I'm just another realtor. That's all I am. Yep. I'm just happen to maybe sell more or less than other people. But it's easy to let that get in the way. And in a tough market, those relationships that you burned with all these other agents, it's going to come back and bite you. Yeah. So, because it's going to get tough. Right. And if we do pivot the way I think we're going, like now the buyers got all the power.
Yeah, they got all the cards.
Now the buyer's agents,
they got the royal flush. They got the royal flush in their hand.
Like, it's tough. So you just got to be very cautious with what you're doing and making sure that you're not burning bridges to the best of your ability. Right. And it's almost impossible, but I try my darndest to not burn a bridge, even if I think the other person that I'm communicating with is completely wrong or out of pocket, or I know they messed up and they're not taking ownership of it. But it is what it is, because this is a very much relationship-based business in all aspects of it.
I'm understanding. As I'm going through my numbers, and I'm like, who gave me this? How did I get this? And again, where those numbers are coming from is where I'm massaging my time with that individual, 100%. Right? Because I feel like if I put more time into it, it can only grow. To what you were saying in the green room, right? Like, yo, dude, let's make it work. Let's put it in together. If you are comfortable with that individual or that partner or whoever is in your team, within your team, ride with it, because at the end of the day, I'd rather see deals come from there than you trying to go out someplace else and pick.
The biggest mistake I see with agents is that they are so fixated on getting the next deal versus just if you know your numbers, if you understand how you're getting your business and you know how to do simple math and use a calculator, your business is laid out. Just figure out what's working and do it again, and just spend more money on it and add fuel to the fire. And every agent has a different way of doing that. You know, like I'm not an open house guy. Never was, never will be. My agents do really well at open houses. That's not my forte. Give me a phone, I'll do great on the call. Put me in front of somebody, I'll do great. Put me in a listing, I'll do great. Sit me at an open house, that's not me. You know, but I know that. I know I know what I'm good at.
Play to your strengths.
And I know what I'm not good at. And I know what I like doing, and I know what I don't like doing. So I try to do as many activities that I like doing, that I feel like I'm good at. Because that's where I'm going to get the most ROI on my time in my life. And if I'm not good at something, guess what I do? I hire someone, or I have somebody else do it, and I pay them. And it's the best thing that you can do, rather than me trying to master every component of real estate. Because I don't care, you can be the best agent in the world. There's one part of the business at a minimum that you're not going to do well. And it's those people that understand that and are aware of that, that get to the top, And that's ultimately where most people want to be.
I hear you. So speaking of where you want to be and what you've been doing, by the way, we do jumbo loans. Mike, Clark, New Jersey, listed a house for $1.599. This is Clark, New Jersey. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, I don't say nothing because, you know, I don't want the walls or the ears talking, like, it's not going to sound. I'm not hating. I'm just like, is this going to work? My man, I'm like, okay, 1 week, I'm not hearing anything. Then I see the sign disappear. I'm like, did he really sell that shit for over $1.599 in Clark, New Jersey? Mike, talk about that, man.
Yeah.
How the F you did that shit, man?
Same thing I did in Union. I have a house in Union that is supposed to close, knock on wood, for $1,065,000. I'm doing the same thing now in Clark where I live, right? So I'm trying to take every home that is distressed that I don't want to look at, because I'm going to be in town for at least another 20 years of my life. So I want to do the best I can to keep the town as good as I can, and create as many opportunities for children to move in, to play sports, to make the sports team better. Like that's my mindset. My kids are athletically inclined at their young age right now. So if they continue to progress, I want them to be involved in sports teams. And who doesn't want to win in a sport? If you say, I don't care if I win my baseball game today. Well,
no, winning is everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to win.
Everything. Yeah, I want to win.
So my mind, it's like, if I build these big homes, there's a better chance that, you know, that families with children are going to move in, and maybe they'll be on my kid's sports team one day, and then the houses are nicer, and it keeps the town good, and the values of homes and surrounding areas go up. And if I'm going to be in this community, I'm going to do everything I can. So myself and investors, you know, right now we're doing a culmination of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're building 7 houses in Clark.
7 houses.
Yeah, we're doing 7 right now.
Crushing it.
I'm always trying to find another way to get another house. And
don't say try.
I'm
always
trying.
Get houses, man. My man, you always get houses, Mike.
But we're just trying to develop it and get the property values as high as I can. So, 1660 is a new comp. We're rising everyone's values up. Mm-hmm. Most of the people in the town hopefully are appreciative of it and will support it. And, genuinely I'm doing it obviously to help the investor make money, keep the town good, but really it's about the town being as good as I can, just because my kids are going to be there from start to finish for the rest of their lives. So I want to give them the best opportunity at life that I can give them. Right. Much different than how I grew up, but that's my vision and that's how I am. And once I get my mind set on something, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to get me off track. Right.
And it makes sense, right? So just to give you guys a perspective about Clark, New Jersey, it's right here, but it's like an octopus. It has sections to every town. So if Mike is killing it right here, Scotch Plains, Fanwood, Roselle, Linden, like what Scotch Plains. You got
it's all there.
It's all right there.
Because on a map, if you look at it, I have Elizabeth, Union, Roselle Park, and Kenilworth. Then you have Cranford there, which I don't dominate. And then you basically have like the
Westfield,
part of Clark, Westfield, Scotch Plains, Fanwood,
right.
And my office is in Scotch Plains, so I'm trying to get Clark, and then we'll spread to Scotch Plains, and then hopefully come back and grab Westfield and Cranford. Now that's the whole, side of the county. It's the most eastern side of Union County,
right.
And then where you go next? So you go to the northern part of Middlesex County, which is South Plainfield and Colonia, and then come over by you, Berkeley Heights and New Prov. That's way down the road, and that's if this all continues to go. That's the goal, the vision of like, what is the next 10 to 20 years?
Yeah, when I saw your sign in my town, I was like, this motherfucker. Just like, wait, what's going on? But Mike,
we're getting very random signs there, but it
shows a lot though. A sign means everything.
Yeah, and that's just it. And it's for me, there's all a plan in place. It's just it takes time.
Right.
And you have to get a town before you could go to the next one.
Right.
And it's so easy to be like, well, just get Cranford, Westfield, and Scotch Plains at the same time. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
It's so hard to get that market share. And then you get it, you got to maintain it.
Right, yeah.
Right? You got to maintain it.
Right.
So it's hard, but we've maintained Union for 5 years. I've been number 1 in Roselle Park for 5 years. I've been number 1 in Kenilworth for 4 years.
Right.
We've been number 1 or 2 in Elizabeth for 3 years. So
planting seeds.
I haven't been number 1 in those towns yet, but that's the ultimate goal.
Right.
And we'll see. Hopefully I can achieve it. But if not, I'm going to try my best.
With the hires you have, I think you guys are going to get there.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
You guys are going to get there. Well, Mike, man, I took a lot of your time today. I thank you your busy time coming on Let's Talk About It podcast.
Anytime, man. I'm appreciative to be here.
Friends with Jason Solowski. Jason's making this happen. You're here. I'm about to bring on one of your other team members. Again, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, and these guys are great. They handle all our police and fire. So if you're a cop or a fireman out there and you have 15% down and you're looking to get a loan, I've worked with many different loan officers that handle police and fire. For those of you that know who I am, I have a lot of friends that are policemen and firemen. They are my go-to, and he did not know I was going to say this, and I didn't know I was going to say this either, but they are the best. Right. So if you got anything out of this, hopefully it's that.
Thank you, man.
And thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
So.
And Mike, if someone is looking for you or someone's looking to join your team, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, just my cell phone number is 908-590-0236. That is my direct line. You can reach out to us on social media. The girls do a great job. My Facebook is my name. My Instagram, I think, is Michael Martinetti Sells NJ. Just something along the lines of that. And then my email is michael@michaelmartinetti group. I'll talk to anyone and help you out any way I can.
Others, if you're looking for Let's Talk About It, just put in your search engine, Let's Talk About It by Jimmy Mortgage. I'm going to pop up. I'm heavily into YouTube. I'm doing wherever you are, whatever favorite streaming platform, Let's Talk About It by Jimmy Mortgage. I'm there. Again, Mike, thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me, bro. Appreciate it.
Hey, listeners, are you looking to improve your home comfort and save on your energy bills? Let's talk about Seal Power. They've been awarded Energy Star Sustained Excellence Award, seen on Good Morning America, the New York Times, and World News. Seal Power is dedicated to keeping your home cozy while saving money. Check out their website for tips and incentives and more at CIELPOWER.com. Stay comfortable and save with Seal Power, where comfort meets efficiency. Follow them on Instagram for updates and more, and let's talk about it as well. Thank you.